Hello everyone, my name is Jack Cambage and this is...
I'm Becca.
And we're doing the sports interview questions. Becca is a soccer athlete as well as an athlete of other sports. So we have all of these questions lined up here. So I will hand it over to Becca and she can answer the questions here. So the first question is obviously the introduction and she's going to talk about the sport she's played.
Right, so my name is Becca and I've played quite a few sports over the years of growing up. I've played soccer, volleyball, jump rope. I even did a little bit of basketball when I was growing up. Pretty much through all of school, and then once I hit high school, I continued with soccer and jump rope. Pretty much, not many people know what jump rope is, especially like the actual sport of jump rope competitively, but so I'll talk about soccer more, I think, just so that everyone will understand a little bit better.
And I've also played a couple of sports in sort of my lifetime too, growing up throughout high school and stuff. I did do some volleyball as well as some competitive tennis and track running, so I didn't continue that further on as I entered the final year of high school, so I kind of dropped that, but I did do some of that stuff as well. And then the second question is, what do you think the sports plays in society and how do you think it affects other cultures around the world?
Well, to do with like soccer specifically, as most people know around the world, like soccer is very well known. Everyone, I believe, is connected to a sport in some way, whether you've watched it, heard about it, have friends that have played sports, you play a sport. Like, I feel like sports is very, very well known in society, and I believe everyone thinks it's a benefit because it keeps you active, it's a very healthy thing to do, all that fun stuff.
The third question is, how has the sport influenced your self-identity?
So I think growing up, you can probably, maybe not in all cases, but you can tell a difference of some people that have played sports as to people that haven't played sports. Not only would it be like athleticism, but I believe just like your morals and values and stuff like that. Because when you grow up playing sports, you learn how to teamwork, you make friends, social cues, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a really good team building exercise for
Exactly.
sure. What influence does the media have on social media and sports? I think especially Instagram is really sort of influential for that because you see a lot of videos on Instagram of like football and basketball and just all of the sports, and the Olympics are always featured on Instagram or the FIFA World Cup, so I think Instagram has a big influence on that for sure.
Yeah, Instagram is definitely blown up with sports. Everyone posts like their championship pictures, all their pictures of game day, all that stuff, so you always see it. You always see every sport all over social media. That's how most people watch it, like highlights, everything.
Comment on the major role sports corporations have. One example could be the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I think, yeah, they're one of the biggest examples you can probably provide.
Yeah, I think especially for us in Ontario, I believe that big sport corporations such as Toronto Maple Leafs like help people understand why sports are important, and because it is so like universally like world known. So I think pretty much, especially towards youth, because youth are the ones that are deciding whether they want to get into sports, not get into sports, go further with sports, not go further. And the major corporations are the ones that you see the most that show everything to do with
I
it.
think that the fourth and the fifth question kind of tie into each other because I feel like sports corporations can also influence youth to participate in sports as well as the media
Social
can.
media, for sure.
I feel like they kind of go hand in hand and tie in together. So
For sure.
Sixth question is, comment on the role of the Players Union and Professional Association.
Role of players union and professional associations. I believe that for professional associations, it's not only talking about like your high school professional leagues, but continuing, so like varsity, college, if you move on to say the NHL, like that's a pretty professional association. So it's all about like kind of going that next level of sport. Yeah, and like Players Union is all about how everyone involved in a sport is all categorized in a Players Union.
Okay, number 7, consider the commercialization of a sport and the effect it has on society.
Well, commercialization, if I pronounce that right, of sport affecting society, well, sports are everywhere. Kind of like we previously talked about, like the social media, sports corporations, like you see sports everywhere. It's always talked about. I could hear today classmates talking about how today's the home opener game of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, it's constantly talked about, it's constantly seen, whether it's commercial on TV or the actual show on TV, whether it's a YouTube ad when you're trying to watch a music video, it's everywhere.
Number 8, comment on a, I don't even know how to pronounce that. A sport? Pseudo sport. Comment on a pseudo sport or a media sport.
So I think like media sports, which is, when I think of media sports, I think of, again, not only social media, but like sports all around the world. So for instance, like the Olympics. Olympics is to do with sports all over the world that is all tied together, and everyone has like the same universal understanding of them. Everyone can watch them, everyone understands it. It's definitely a really good way for every country to connect in a way of sports.
Yeah, and I think it brings everyone together because, like I said, the Olympics, like there's over 150 countries that participate in the Olympics, so I think it's a great way for cultures and different people from different countries to kind of interact with each other and play against each other and have a good time.
Exactly, and there's not much like that.
And our final question, number 9, is should everyone be given the opportunity to participate in sports? And considering like challenges, whether that be like money or family size or any other demographics that might play a role in giving everyone an equal opportunity to play sport.
And I think that most people would agree that that question is an obvious yes. No matter who you are, where you are, anything, I think you should have the opportunity. When it comes to money, it does get complicated, obviously, because some people can afford to play the high school sports and like go to the tournaments and afford the buses to get them there, while others can't. But thankfully, like I'm sure you realize too, but most schools in particularly or communities have intramural sports, which are completely free, and you get to experience like what teamwork is all about. You get to experience the sport still. You might not get to like go outside of your school to play it, but the fact that you still get to play it is pretty cool. Definitely shouldn't ever be discrimination in sports because everyone's at their own level, everyone's at their own pace, everyone's different, pretty much self-explanatory.
Yeah. I also think that probably the biggest barrier for most people is obviously cost and affording equipment and stuff like that, because people feel that they can't. It does get expensive, and it can be a huge barrier for some people coming from low-income areas where they can't afford the best equipment to play in that league or play in that sport, or they can't afford to have the best coach or the best trainer. So there are definite big physical barriers that do prevent some youth from actually participating in sports. But we do live in a day and age now where Jumpstart, companies like that, they're owned by Canadian Tire, do raise money to give youth the opportunity to play in sports and give the youth the equipment they need to succeed in that sport with their teams. So I think we definitely live in a day and age now where it's becoming more accessible for everyone to have the same kind of opportunity,
Which is great, for sure.
All right, so that wraps up our interview. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, like it, and we will see you guys sometime in the future.
Thank you.